salute, Knicks Nation. The New York Knicks pulled off a win in Texas finally on New Year's Eve, where you're at, US time. I'm at New Year's Day down under, but ready to chop this thing up. Salute to the chat. Salute Knicks Nation. Lots to talk about. The New York Knicks pulled off a nice win finally in Texas, up by 20 points. Did it tough in the first quarter, but took control in the second, dominated the third, the fourth, and the New York Knicks go back above 500, and we're here to talk about it. Happy New Year to everyone out here. Many blessings. We're going to rock tonight and talk about some of the Obi Toppin news, swirling. We heard a report earlier today that the New York Knicks were engaging talks with the Indiana Pacers about Obi, so we'll talk about that. But we'll give out the flowers, the grades tonight, the look ahead, all of that. The streets are buzzing. Smash that like button. And Julius Randle, Emmanuel Quickley, absolutely dominated tonight. Dominant performance, man. And Julius Randle wasn't leaving Texas without a dub, man. He would have strangled somebody if he left Texas without a dub. And of course, it was the homecoming for Quentin Grimes. Q. Dot, stand up. Got that dub in front of his hometown, in front of his mum, family. I'm happy for him as well. Salute to all the Knicks fans out here, man, rocking. And as well, 5-game losing streak, man, left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, and nothing to gloat about tonight, but to beat Houston. But in terms of that, it just feels good to stop the skid. Happy New Year again, everyone out here. Let's go. IQ's been a bit on a tear recently, and whether you want to see the Knicks bottom out or what, win, go all the way this year, you got to be happy seeing the way some of these young players are growing. Emmanuel Quickley stepped in. He's been, taking the opportunities as well. We'll give out his flowers, man. Mitch was a beast tonight, man. Playing hurt, got hit, got knocked, banged up, all of that stuff, man. Andrew's proud of the team, 19 and 18. And we heard the stat, if you're watching MSG, of course, the New York Knicks finished the year above 500 for the first time in 10 years. Man, let that sink in. David, salute. 70 shots from IQ the last 3 games. Yeah. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year, Buzzer. Salute, Wilson. How's 2023 going, man? Good news, because we started off the new year with a win. 2023, of course, down under. Wilson, how you been, fam? With that, like I said, man, if we weren't going to beat Houston, heads were going to roll, I think, and it was looking dicey. JJ, salute. Boy, was it looking pretty dicey. First quarter, I'm not going to lie, man. The Rockets I predicted would be harder to beat than the Dallas Mavericks. The San Antonio Spurs. But young teams go through the trenches. Sometimes the Houston Rockets couldn't buy a bucket. They went 8 straight minutes without a bucket in the fourth quarter, but the Knicks clamped down. Finally picked up that dub. Almighty, what's good? Cormega, Happy New Year to you too. Appreciate you. And the chat, everyone out here are rocking. Much needed win. Almighty's not impressed with the win. Yet the Knicks just needed to do what they needed to do. Take the win. Underman, of course. Jalen Brunson. Look closer to getting ready. Was warming up. There's good video. JB was shooting, stretching, moving okay. Pre-game. But you'd have to think, there was no need. Last game of this road trip. Don't risk JB. I'm happy that they sat him out. Happy that they sat him out. To recap this road trip, like JJ says, much needed win, but it was a disappointing road trip overall. One of the hardest in the NBA. Luka Doncic, as we go around the league, Luka put up 50 tonight again. Man, he is absolutely on a tear right now. Is Luka. Happy New Year to you, Geraldine. Salute to you. And what did you see from tonight? Quickly filled up the stat sheet. Yeah, efficiency, something he's got to work on. 27 points, 25 shots. Against good teams is going to be tough, but um, he's getting this opportunity, in a larger sample size with Brunson out. It's also a preview, if Quick wants a bigger role on another team or with the Knicks, it was a good opportunity for him to showcase high usage, and see what he can do. The most impressive thing for me this year has been Quickley's defense. He's always been streaky, throughout his career on offense, and he probably will continue to be streaky. But with the floater, it's decent. The floor game's improving. He can be a little erratic at times, but tonight, yeah, put up points. Was Randall's sidekick, to help him out, pull out this dub. Tariq, salute. What's good? Lily Phillips, appreciate you. Let's go. Um, Happy New Year's to you too. Shout out to one, the only, Jay Boogie. Many blessings, man. Achieved a lot of things, man, in 2022. We look ahead to 2023, not just for the team, but for us as people, human beings. And I hope that it's a beautiful year ahead and many blessings for everyone as well. Everyone out on here rocking out tonight. I hope everyone's staying safe, first and foremost, enjoying themselves wherever you are, wherever you're streaming from. And let's continue to chop this thing up. The Knicks head back to MSG, of course, now. The Texas road trip out of the way. Back to home cooking. With that situation, Devin Booker, no Devin Booker. So the Knicks are definitely going to have an opportunity to finally, get that win against Phoenix as well. But appreciate you, Jay Boogie, with that. Salute, salute, salute. Joseph, what's good? At least IQ had the confidence to take all those shots like RJ has had the green light to do for the last 4 years. Yeah, undeservedly so. Again, no, we weren't going to get much offense from anyone else tonight if Quick didn't put up all those shots, just like the San Antonio game, it was Randall, Quickley, and Grimes in the starting unit. McBride got the start again, struggled offensively mightily, but Deuce ran through the screens. His defense stepped up tonight, as did everyone else's. They're a decent offensive team, Houston, but young, made a lot of mistakes. We made it difficult for them to get their offense flowing. The Houston Rockets were just a mess tonight as well. Juan in the house, let's go. Salute, salute, salute. Yeah, Julius Randle. I mean, got to start with him. Had a great Texas road trip. Like I said, needed to pull this win out for him. But right up until the very end, he was full of energy. He was chirping at the bench, which I like to see from Randall as well. He had some things to say. Was hitting the three ball. Julius is shooting the three ball really well now. 9 of 20 from the field. A couple of bullet passes from Randall. I love 6 assists, 12 rebounds, double in the books for JR. 35 points as well. Game ball in his home state as well. Like Lily drops a jewel as well. Lowest score for the year for Rockets. Yeah, you got to give the Knicks defense credit. Yep, a lot of people say the Knicks just did what they needed to do, but to hold them, an NBA team, to that score, 88 points, the Knicks deserve some credit. Knicks deserve credit. Appreciate you, Andrew. Let's get it. Big things ahead. Bricks Nation in the house. Salute all the diehards up in here. Happy New Year. And yeah, stay safe. Enjoy yourself, parties. And big things ahead. Grimes Dirty says with another casual big game, one of the best 3-and-D young guys in this league. He's just warming up too, fam. Getting his feet wet and getting a bigger role with this Knicks offense, in the starting unit. RJ out. I like to evaluate, the little things within each game. And we're not going to have a lot of opportunities, one would hope, without Brunson, without RJ, to see what these other guys can look like, with higher usage. We'll give out the grades for Q Dot. But, home state, he was giddy. He was up for it. The three ball's looking nice. Moving the rock really well. I love the ball movement today. I don't know what was said. Maybe because I felt we were really stagnant. In San Antonio, there was a lot of standing around, a lot of Julius Randle dribbling the air out of the ball, guys standing around. Tonight was much better. It was moving, it was cutting, moving the rock on, and Julius, credit to him, had the ball moving, six assists. A lot of poor shot selection, I mean, as well from both teams tonight. At times it was like a glorified, rec game. Tonight it was at a fast pace. The first quarter, the ball was flowing up and down. But of course, Evan Fournier got another opportunity off the bench. Derrick Rose got an opportunity. So one would think that, as long as RJ and maybe Brunson remain out, you could expect Evan Fournier to continue to get minutes. Of course, Cam Reddish currently out of the lineup still, couldn't get on. We know what the story is trending towards with Cam. The Knicks are in discussions. We'll talk about the Obi news. What are your thoughts, Nick Streets, about the news, the story? If you haven't heard, dropped. Sean Devaney from Heavy.com reports that the Knicks and the Indiana Pacers are engaged in talks for Obi. Nothing imminent at this stage. However, the Knicks seem to be asking for a decent, price to move Obi on, which is an unprotected or protected first round pick. There's conflicting reports. One says unprotected, one says a protected, and another piece as well, and another piece. So interesting. We know Obi's out injured at the moment. The 3 weeks is up where Obi's due to be reevaluated with the knee, and we haven't heard nothing about it yet. And so the injury, going off previous cases can take 4 to 6, sometimes longer. But Obi's, not really practicing or anything like that at this stage. So maybe they're just playing it safe, keeping Obi out for a minute. I'll give you my thoughts on that situation. Look, it's just it's a tough situation, as we know, with Obi Randle playing the way he is. Ultimately, sometimes you do got to cut losses. When you're running a business, it's sad. I think we'll never get that value from the 8th overall pick, whether it's with Obi staying and becoming a starter. I don't think we're going to get true value for that pick. So cutting our losses. If we do get a first round pick and another piece, we'll have to see what it ultimately looks like. But I don't think it's going to be bad business, necessarily. This is a loaded draft. If Obi sticks around, I'll be more than happy to see him develop, with the New York Knicks. But, it's just tough right now seeing him play, not getting a big enough role. So what are you guys' thoughts about that? We'll shout everyone out. Will in the house, Happy New Year to you. Salute, fam. Appreciate you, all your support. It's been a great year chatting Knicks. Everyone out here as well. And yeah, JJ says Grimes more than a 3-and-D, in my opinion. Really good player. Yep. For his age, yep, he came up with a big pedigree. He's just going to ease into his 3-and-D role, and then he's going to start to flash more things on a regular basis, I think, fam. Dirty Dancer would bet that the talks could be about Duarte. Maybe Duarte, I got a feeling it could be, maybe Buddy Hield's name brought up. Maybe Miles Turner. Yeah, it's just speculation at this point. But yeah, it's just a report. Let's see. Davis says we get a nice pick. A pick nice. Yeah, he was the target 2 years ago and is currently stuck behind Mathurin. That's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't quite thought of Duarte because I haven't really watched Indiana a lot. We'll talk about that more later in the show. Let's more talk about tonight's win and this road ahead. Yep, the Knicks, of course, catch another break. No Devin Booker. I mean, we can't take Phoenix for granted. Hell no. With CP3 healthy, Mikhal's healthy, Aiton's playing. But I'm probably going to go out on a limb and say I would expect Brunson to be ready. Another day's rest, another another day to get it right, stretch, all of that good stuff. I think we'll see JB back for that big game at MSG. I think they just kept him out, being extra cautious with that situation. Um, yeah, yeah. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to be protected or unprotected. JJ likes to fit with the Indiana Pacers. Yeah, getting up and down. Yep. Um, So yeah, what's more impressed me tonight was the Knicks defense. I mean, first and foremost, we finally got back to locking down, a bit of pride and not letting another young team. A lot of people did predict the Houston Rockets would run amok on the Knicks tonight, and it wasn't the case. The Knicks locked down the first quarter, as you see though. Rockets came out hot. They was hitting their three balls, so credit to them. But like the commentary was saying, Houston Rockets don't shoot the three ball well. So eventually it was going to average out. They went cold, and the Knicks shut the water off. It was 27-35 in the first, and the Knicks, of course, put the clamps down in the second, 26-14. Let that sink in, man. I don't know if the Knicks have had a 14-point quarter this year, but that's low. That's low. And then we held the Rockets to 21 in the third and shut the water off, kept the water off in the fourth, 18 points. Kept the team under 90 points as well. A high-powered offense that moves the rock. I thought Jabari Smith, he didn't really impress me tonight. I was expecting more from him. He's been pretty good, but he got in early foul trouble. I think Jabari picked up 3 fouls, in the first quarter, and Julius Randle attacked. Julius Randle just attacked and attacked, and that was the right game plan with that situation. I'm glad, although Cam didn't get in again, I'm glad Tibbs is finally, bring Evan in. Need extra bodies. We need extra offense. I mean, you don't need to be Einstein to have figured that out. The Knicks have struggled with, being tired and not being able to get buckets. So yeah, Evan Fournier. I like what I saw from Evan tonight. What did you guys think? True pro. I've always thought, Evan was done a bit dirty in terms of just being completely wiped out of the rotation. Um, it's all good to be situational. I understood that aspect with Evan. He was killing us defensively with high minutes, high usage. But I always thought Evan Fournier in 12 minutes, 15 minutes, he's not gonna kill you. He's not gonna kill you. For a guy that has the franchise shooting record, can shoot the three ball really well. When teams went zone on the New York Knicks, I mean, we need shooters, So Evan Fournier, and that's my thoughts on him. I wasn't mad he was out of the rotation, but to be completely DNPing all the time when we needed extra bodies earlier was a bit rough for me. Evan Fournier is back. The shooting was much needed tonight. Hit a couple shots. Plays the nice two-man game with Julius. You just notice the floor does open up that little bit more when Evan's out there. And he can also attack the closeout, use the floater game, all of that stuff, savvy veteran. You can find the right man. He can pass. He can move. I respect Evan, but he was rough, early in the season as well. He was rough. Dirty says early season Evan, Randall, and RJ was defensive Armageddon. Yeah, glad it's over. Yeah, it was rough. Definitely, it was absolutely rough. But yeah, Evan in a pinch, he can be used. He could be used tonight. And we'll pull up the box score in a second. But all-round effort for the New York Knicks tonight. 27 in the first, 26, 29, and 26 as well. So didn't score over 30 tonight, but didn't need to. Defended as a team. Also, before we give out grades, got to shout out Mitchell Robinson because he was absolutely impressive tonight. he was getting hit, was tapping the ball out, getting offensive rebounds. I mean, so many second chance opportunities for the New York Knicks tonight, thanks to Mitch. And I think Quickley and Randle owe Mitch a beer and a meal for New Year's, man. However, the team's spending New Year's tonight. They're probably getting back on a plane, headed back to New York City, and I don't blame them. Probably going to toast on the plane. Cheers. Yeah, but for this squad, you don't want to get down to that 6-game losing streak. All sorts of negativity starts to really creep in. Second doubting yourself, all of that stuff, right? Not super impressive to beat Houston, but needed the win, in terms of the circumstances, tonight. Jarvis, salute, fam. Happy New Year to you. On the West Coast, Jarvis, salute. Yeah. Tariq says, every time I watch a Knicks game, I'm reminded that fans don't know about personal matters. You'll try to keep personal matters out of this thing. But, yeah, I'm just glad the New York Knicks got back to playing defense. Miles McBride, again, great defensive performance, but struggled offensively. In terms of the higher usage stuff, he's one of the reasons why I think Evan Fournier is getting that extra look right now. I think if Miles was clicking offensively, was hitting shots, I don't think we would have seen as much as we have from Evan. But Miles McBride, helping this team out on the other end, but offensively you can't rely on Deuce. Tonight was a bit rough, missing a lot of wide open looks with that situation. But Quentin Grimes picked him up. Yeah, and Quentin Grimes, the hometown hero, for tonight. Happy for him, born in Houston, played for Houston as well. I think he went to school in Houston as well. Family in the crowd. Let's get it. Q dot. Now, with that said, you guys tell me what was the most impressive thing for tonight. I'll start with Randle, the obvious one. 19 of 20, efficiency. Efficiency overall from the field goal, but 5 of 13 from 3, man. That's got to be probably the highest 3-point total that Randle shot for the season. I think 13 3-point balls. Was an absolute monster at the line. Like I said, he was smart tonight. Was Juju attacking the mismatches, playing with extra energy. He went to the line and he was 12 of 16 from the line was Juju. So happy for him. Finally hit some free throws, got to the line, and got those calls. Did Juju, against the younger team, right? If the only all-star on the floor doesn't get the whistle of the refs, something's up with that. What I liked was the as we get this ad off. Yeah, what I did like with Juju tonight was the offensive rebounding. 12 rebounds total, double, and the 6 assists, plus 25, equal team high with Quickley, and 35 points. So Julius, don't take a night off. Randle, basically. He has his knockers, but you got to respect Julius for playing like he's Iron Man, basically. Julius doesn't take a night off, always plays high minutes, always plays, helps his team any way that he can. I like the 6 assists and I like the rebounding tonight. He was always going to get all the shot attempts in the world that, that he could possibly put up, that his heart desires, man. 20 field goal attempts, 13 3-ball attempts, and 16 shots at the line as well. But they had no answer for him, man. No one of any kind of size. They went to a Boban sighting, and he did some things, but wasn't enough. So A+ for Julius tonight, ringing in the new year, playing like an all-star. I will do my all-star voting, like Buzzer Beater's been asking. I'll do that next week. We have a guest on Tuesday night, Coach Nick B-ball breakdown, and we'll talk about how the Knicks are doing. We'll go around the league, and we'll give our All-Star votes after the Phoenix game on Tuesday night when Coach Nick comes on. And but in the East so far, I think Julius is deserving. I think a bounce back year for Julius. He's deserving of that All-Star nod in the East right now, just because of the consistency. And tonight he was efficient, 9 of 20. With that said, shooting extra volume on these threes, but shooting at a decent clip. Like he says, Randle divisive, absolutely, amongst this whole fan base, but he's been playing at an all-star level this season. Yep, got to recognize that. He was capable of it 2 years ago. For whatever happened last season, things just weren't aligning, but he's back. Basically, this ain't no flash in the pan. Yeah, he's back. Right. Yeah, buzzer, absolutely. Make no mistake. Coach Nick on Tuesday night. We'll talk more about the league, but the Knicks looking ahead to the Knicks as well. Coach Nick has got some thoughts on Tom Thibodeau, who he knows, and he's talked to Tom Thibodeau before. I want to ask him a few questions about Tibbs' schemes this year. Particularly the take foul when you're up 3. I love to get coaches' opinions on that. What would you guys do, like we did in Dallas, when you're up 3? Do you guys foul, or do you let them shoot a 3 ball on you? Also want to ask Coach about the 3-point defensive philosophy of Tom Thibodeau, crowding the paint, drop coverage, all of that stuff. So yeah, that's just a preview of what I want to get out there as well. Yeah, Randle deserving of an All-Star, Jalen Brunson deserving of an All-Star, and we'll vote these other guys in around the league. I think Jason Tatum's definitely deserving of that. Ladies and gents, Nick Streets out here as well. You guys are spitting knowledge. The streets don't lie. Get them likes up high. And almost New Year's. Let's ring it in. So yeah, A+ for Julius to ring in the new year. We salute that. Next man up, Mitchell Robinson tonight. 33 minutes. He was 2 of 4, and 2 of 4 from the line. 6 offensive rebounds. Insane. A 12 rebound total. He got an assist. He got 3 steals, 3 blocks, 5 fouls. Was a plus 24 and 6 points as well. So, on a night like this, I would have loved to see Mitch get more shot attempts. That's the first thing that stands out to me tonight. Given all the effort he was giving you defensively, with 6 offensive rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Mitch is too unselfish tonight as well. He did get fouled a few times, did get blocked a few times, but he was unselfish, kicking it out, back out to his teammates, and 1 assist tonight. But Mitch's ability to not sub out, like Mike Breen and Hahn was paying homage to Mitch tonight. The way he stayed in it. I think he got 1 chop to the throat. He stayed in. He fell down, rolled his ankle, I think, stayed in. Gets hit on them screens, stayed in. Mitch is another warrior, doesn't come out, plays through pain, and we needed him tonight, man. I think, like the New York basketball Twitter account just put up, the Houston Rockets coverage announcers was talking highly of Mitch all night, saying he was the difference tonight. He was intimidating. He was in the right positions, making it tough. Jalen Green struggled with penetration tonight. We were definitely cutting off the paint. We're definitely cutting off the water in the paint with Mitch out there, man. He was in the right situation. Yep. Yep, no doubt. Buzzer. Yep. We'll put in our all-star votes with Coach Nick Tuesday night. Let's get it. Yep. Hans, Nick's Real Talk. Yep. In the house. Salute. Pudge Nice. Happy New Year. Salute to you, fam. Let's get it, man. Passionate Knicks fan all over up in here, man. Yeah, Tariq says, told y'all about Mitch. Opposing coaches agree. Yep. Yep. You couldn't have watched tonight and not noticed Mitch's impact, man. This is one of his best games of this season, I think. Dude, he was so consistent. Absolute beastly numbers again. For anyone that missed it, let me go through it again, just because it sounds so good. 33 minutes, 2 of 4, 2 of 4 from the line, 6 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive, an assist, 3 steals, 3 blocks, plus 24, 6 points in 33 minutes. Another note I want to make, we saw in, I think, Dallas or San Antonio, they dumped the ball down to Mitch. The first time in a long time, we've seen them, Mitch post up. And I think it was Julius that fed him the rock twice then, but we haven't seen it since. I might be mistaken, but I didn't see it tonight. I didn't see anyone, dump the ball down to Mitch tonight. So again, I want to see them look for him because we have vertical spacing. When the Knicks don't have great floor spacing and we don't have great shooters on the floor and teams are going zone, you can utilize vertical spacing to your advantage. We've seen it with Jericho Sims. I think it's Fournier, Randle, and Quickley have good ESP with Jericho. Jericho flies high, goes back door, and catches the defense napping. And I think with Mitch, I'd like to see him cut to the rim a bit, and I use that vertical spacing with Mitch as well. But one thing I don't like is that Mitch doesn't get, great foul calls. He doesn't get the rub of the green with any single ref. They knock him off his spot. They hit his hands every single time he gets an offensive rebound. They clobber his hands. Nothing. What do you guys think? Mitchell Robinson doesn't get the rub of the green with the refs. I think he gets clobbered, man. Also, he does fall off balance quite a few times. But yeah, the man's, let's give him more respect around the league because he gets hacked right there. Got chopped in the face, in the throat. I think, yep. Yeehaw, May 4th in the house. Let's go. Yep. Doesn't matter who it is. 20-point win, I'll take it. Especially when you're on a 5-game skid. About to ring in the new year as well. At least that bevy, whatever beverage you're having tonight, tastes that little bit better. Especially in the morning. Coffee tastes better on New Year's Day. Right here. Yeah, look, like Tariq says, trading Quickley. I think that noise is going to stop right now. That's going to stop, I think, for the short term at least, right? But like I said on the other show, I think other teams are going to be looking at this thing, man, saying, what could be had for Quick? Can we get him for cheap? Right? I think the Knicks would be silly. I think the Knicks would be silly with that. Yeah. Like David says, yeah, Mitch gets hacked, facts. So does RJ and Randle and Grimes. Yeah. Everybody gets hacked and whacked right now, man. I saw Quickley go at that female ref as well to back up Evan as well. Jarvis, starting lineup for the Phoenix one. I said I think Brunson's back, fam. I think he'll be back. Don't hold me to it. That's just what I observed. There's good footage of Brunson warming up pre-game, fam, tonight. He looked loose. He was shooting. He was jumping, rising up, stretching, and all of that. And I do think an extra day should be good. The only way I could see, if JB doesn't get up, I could see it maybe being more serious than what anyone's reporting, in terms of maybe he's still in discomfort, still experiencing some pain. But I do feel like JB looked pretty good from, my eyes usually don't lie. He was bouncing around, and I could tell. I think he was really close tonight, fam. It just didn't make sense. Final game of the road trip, Houston Rockets. About to jump on a plane straight after the game. I really do think like they're probably on a plane. Want to get back to their families, back home on the East Coast. That's what usually these teams do. They're not going to stay overnight in Houston. However, I think yeah, JB should be good to go. That's my thoughts with that one. With that, Mike Boy, Happy New Year, salute, and all the chat up in here rocking out tonight. Let's go. Yeah, a lot of pleasing things. We'll look at the road ahead, and I'll talk about you know what I'm evaluating for the rest of this season. Um, we're back, one game over 500. The Miami Heat lost yesterday, so we'll give a standings update right now, just before we give out more grades. Um, Knicks back up to seventh as well. We were eighth yesterday, so the Knicks moved to 19 and 18, and Miami Heat 18 and 18 as well. The Indiana Pacers in sixth are 20 and 17 as well. I do expect the Pacers to slide though. I think they're rebuilding. Looks like, obviously if they are in talks to the Knicks, they're looking to add young pieces and maybe shed some vets, possibly. Let's see. But 20 and 17, they've got some great young talent, but I do think Indiana's eventually going to regress this season, and I think that sixth seed is going to be a dogfight for the Knicks, Heat, Hawks. The Bulls and the Raptors are way off the pace at 4 games under 500. But yeah, I think between the Knicks, the Heat, and the Hawks, will be a dogfight for the rest of this season for that sixth seed right now, with the Pacers sliding a bit. So yeah, the Knicks move up to seventh. What are your thoughts on that, ladies and gents? So yeah, for Mitch, I got to give him an A, right? Straight A student was Mitch tonight. Just absolute beast, out there dominating, and that's what we need. That's what we need him to do. Young team, lack of size. They had to put Boban as probably a situational guy in to just combat what the Knicks were doing on the offensive glass. I mean, tonight, even Quickley got 2 offensive rebounds. So while we're on Quickley, let's touch on him now. 40 minutes, 9 of 25. A bit inefficient, but higher volume. 4 of 13 from the 3 ball. So yeah, Quick's 3 ball. I think he's always been streaky as Quick, but with higher volume, obviously that's going to be more inflated. With that said, 5 of 6 though from the line. You can always trust Quick from the line. 5 rebounds. Like I said, 2 offensive rebounds, 7 assists was great. 3 steals was great from Quick. Plus 25, equal team high. 27 points from Quick tonight. Again, stand up. You know what you're going to get now from Quick. He's definitely becoming more mature, more confident running the point. Proof with his lockdown D, with the 7 assists tonight. One of the best rebounding undersized guards in the league, at 6'3". Pulled in 2 offensive rebounds. I think he's got really rangy arms, which helps him grab those rebounds down. But yeah, really happy with Quick's development so far. With him, I guess the next level of improvement is just to be more efficient. Everybody knows what Quick's capable of. I think the whole league, out of all the young players, you kind of knew from year one, Quick was that kind of guy that caught people's eye. No lie. With that situation, I think it was his first year with the first matchup with Dame. You could just tell that he had something in him. He stepped up to that. Played well in Portland. I think he had his first 30 piece. In that Portland game, Dame recognized game that night. There was chirping back and forth, and ever since then, I think the league kind of, paid more attention, to Quick. But the development we're seeing defensively from Quick, they talked about it tonight on MSG about his defensive rise with strength. You could just tell he's that much stronger. He can keep guys in front of him now as well. He's always got that broad shoulder, broad chest. He's filled out a bit as Quick, and he's keeping dudes in front of him. He's good for a steal from poking the ball because Quick's got those long arms, like I said. Where he can grow, obviously, we know the decision making, some questionable decision making, but young player working through it. Quick definitely needs to. You could see a battle in his mind, whether he's battling, putting the shot up or passing it. Sometimes he's just in two minds. One thing that does frustrate me with Quick is when he gets dribble penetration, he tends to stop and look back. Check the defender on his hip, and then sometimes he gets blocked. He's got to shake that, in my opinion. I know what he's trying to do. He's not trying to get a feel for where the defender is. Make sure he doesn't get the shot blocked. But sometimes he's clear, away ahead of the defender, and he stops. He stops on a dime. I'm like, man, you got the lane. So, what do you guys see from Quick? Yeah, with those notes, the money's, the floater game is confident for Quick. The mid range is no doubt something as well that I think Quick can grow in and develop more. Again, he seems to be way more comfortable with just the floater or the three ball, and nothing in between, which is kind of what the modern NBA is right now, anyway. So, you got to take that into consideration. He's 6'3" as well, so in the mid-range shot, it ain't like he can rise up and sort of get that shot over a lot of defenders, in the league. At 6'3", he does get a lot of that blocked. His shot release is very low for a guard. He almost has that kind of push shot. Does Quick, but you guys know my favorite kind of player. It's a two-way player. Anytime you can draft a player that's 25th overall and has potential offensively and is a great defender already, third year in the league, the Knicks found something. The Knicks found something with Quick. Two-way players help you win in this league, whether they're a starter, a guy off the bench, any kind of role. It's valuable. We're seeing him able to step up now, and I'm even seeing questions posed out there on social media, not necessarily throwing shade at Brunson or the signing, but just posing the question: should the Knicks have just given Emmanuel Quickley 1 year to start, just to see what he looked like? Right? What are you guys' thoughts on that? Love Brunson. Happy we have Brunson. But there are some Knicks fans out there that would have liked to maybe just see for 1 year what Emmanuel Quickley is as a starting point guard. And, he's putting together a bigger case right now for a look, maybe not on a playoff team, but a rebuilding team. What he could do with 40 minutes a night, 27 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and great defensively. Inefficient, but a lot of players are inefficient in the league. I'll give Emmanuel Quickley an A- for tonight. A- with that. D Cool in the house, salute. Happy New Year, everyone. We're rocking out. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, where I'm at. But yeah, the good thing is the Knicks ring in the new year with a win, finally, and not on a 6-game losing streak. Right here. We've got some young players playing huge roles, stepping up. I like to save bigger evaluation for the end of the year. Players don't get a lot of time to practice. We don't tend to see a lot of improvement in season, as well as, not as much as a summer, and to see what players can work on. But right now, the Knicks have an asset with Emmanuel Quickley. There's no other ways about it right now. And when we get to January and February, other teams are going to be calling Leon Rose, I think, to see what it would take to get an Emmanuel Quickley, because there'd be a lot of teams he would fit nicely on. I'd love to, for the Knicks to keep him around. Who cares if the contract's expiring? Keep him, continue to get a longer look, and then make a decision. Yep, facts. E says, yeah, with the CAA ties, Brunson was their target, for a long, long time. Long, long time. Jarvis, the Knicks basically in the range where I predicted. Let's see if they stay there or exceed expectations. Yeah, great point. Yeah, Jarvis as well. Yeah, a lot of fans had us in play-in, but now we're realistically, I must admit, fam, I didn't expect the 6th seed to be that wide open right now. I mean, we're ahead of the Heat. A lot of people weren't ready to give up on the Heat, giving them flowers. Toronto Raptors as well. Young wings, athletic, great defensively. The New York Knicks are better than them right now. I know they've had injuries, but got to give the Knicks some credit for the way they've, some of their players have performed so far this season. Nothing's perfect, but some players have had a great half year so far, bounced back, all of that stuff. If the New York Knicks end up with 2 All-Stars, I mean, if people hate on that, then they're just hating. They're just hating with that situation, because when has the Knicks had 2 All-Stars? Since that, I've always said I don't think Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle will be the 1-2 long-term options. We're still trying to look for a number 1. So when I'm evaluating the Knicks, I'm evaluating on, what these guys would look like in their real proper roles, when we finally do try to get that number 1. And I think that's what Leon Rose is trying to do up in here, right? It's a slow grind. With that said, so A+ for Randall, A for Rob, A- for Quick. Now let's talk about the hometown hero, Quentin Grimes. Tonight, 36 minutes, was efficient, 8 of 15. 8 of 15, and he was 3 of 8 from 3-point land. Just 2 rebounds, just 2 assists, but 2 steals for Grimes, 1 block, 2 turnovers, 3 fouls, and was a +10, 19 points. So very, very serviceable night for Grimes. Happy for him to get this winning feeling in front of his family on New Year's Eve as well. He's just going to get better as the season goes along. He has some off nights and he's learning still, some questionable decisions late in games down the stretch. But let's not forget, Knicks fans, Knicks streets, that young players do have, they do make mistakes, they got to learn. This is the NBA. Until you're put in these crunch situations, nothing compares to it. Not a college game, not a preseason game, not practice, not G League. Nothing compares to the real thing, right? When the lights are bright as well, when doubles, blitzes are coming at you, you got to learn and got to make quick decisions as well. But happy with Grimes' development. Ever since he's got healthy, he's come into this lineup. He's been a threat two-way, locking guys down, playmaking, and of course the shooting starting to get better. The shooting starting to pick up for Q Dot. Yep, absolutely. Yep. You guys about to ring in the new year very, very, very soon, fam, as well. And we probably may as well still be on air, and we can all salute to good things. Winter Fox in the house. Let's get it. Salute. Tariq had the Knicks at 5 and 6 seed before the season started, and you expected that, the good and the bad, right? Yeah, respect to that, man, as well. I respect anyone that puts their predictions out there as well early in the season, and we can just talk about it. We can just revisit it. Truth is, a lot of people got certain things wrong in the East, right there. I did feel Miami were overhyped. I think they've played a lot of minutes, played at a high intensity. I think Miami's age is starting to catch up with Jimmy Buckets as well. Toronto, honestly, I like to toot my horn, but I didn't expect them to be as bad as they have. I thought they were a little overhyped, was Toronto, but I didn't expect them to be struggling this much. Atlanta, I did feel DeJounte Murray would make a bigger difference, but what we're hearing is that there's issues in the locker room. Nothing's clicking. Nate Nate McMillan, on the verge of resigning. Let that sink in. Well, so nothing's promised, Knicks Nation. Nothing's given in this league. I mean, that's the best example I could give you. Atlanta Hawks made upgrades, came into this season with hype, all of that stuff. Was Eastern Conference finalists recently. Trae Young, I mean, had everything going for them. Well, and somehow they messed with the chemistry. They traded Kevin Herter, who's balling out in Sacktown, and you know Dejounte Murray. I haven't really seen him enough. I'm sure he's played well. I'm sure he's had good games, but sometimes you mess with chemistry. It looks like Kevin Herter was their glue guy, no doubt about it. Um, yep, I thought Green was going to take that leap too, fam. Um, Surprised and not surprised about your thoughts on Quickley outplaying Green. Um, could have just been an off night for the Rockets too. Maybe they're tired. Also, yeah, Quickley gets respect the way he plays defense as well. He's tough. He's strong. Um, you know, what's even a better thing to wait for is once Quickley even fills out even more. Once he puts on more muscle, those long arms as well. It's going to help him a lot in this league. 6'3", decent size for a point guard. But look at his shoulders, as you see in that image right there, man. If you just look at the frame of Quick, his shoulders are broader than a lot of guards right there. Once he puts on more muscle, more bulk, Emmanuel Quickley is going to be a problem, locking people down as well. Jarvis, no, South Guna. Shout out to South. I haven't heard from him recently, but he's on his grind. I'm sure he's doing well. Yeah. Buzzer, what resolutions do I have for myself for the Knicks? Resolutions for myself personally, just stay with it, work and life, and try to eat more healthier. I guess that's the easy one, fam. I like the odd sweet treat, takeout, all of that stuff. Man, I got to cut back on some of that greasy food. It's going to be tough though, fam. Yeah, for the Knicks, um, this year, it's got to be the young players. Continue to be try to be more consistent, and also for this team to be more consistent, fam, as well. Um, yeah, we know this team's sort of ceiling as currently constructed. We know the limitations of a lot of these players, but what I would like to see is just some consistency. Continue to play at a certain level. Some nights shots aren't going to fall, but defensively, I want to see the New York Knicks just play tough defensively. Each and every night. And in terms of, well, I don't know if Tom Thibodeau is going to get let go, but his defensive schemes, I'm not the fan of. In terms of drop coverage, letting the three balls go off. Honest man, a la Wise in the house. Let's go. Salute. What are yours too? Also, everyone out there, feel free. Throw out what you want this to see from this team. In the new year. Also, maybe even further ahead. Always looking further ahead, fam. I will do a show when we get a large enough break, probably at the All-Star break, when we get a week off from games. I want to do a few shows about some draft coverage, look ahead. I also want to do a show on salaries, free agents coming up, salaries around the league, etc. Looking at that. He's just hoping the front office can make a move. The issue I have is possible injuries with Tibbs playing these starters bigger minutes. Yep. Yeah, Tibbs in full Tibbs mode right now. That's a bit worrying as well. Fam. He's going helter skelter to make that 6th seed, a la the Chicago years as well. And best believe when we get closer down the stretch, I hope Leon brings in more bench depth as well, so that he can use some of them, or these guys stay healthy. Obi gets healthy, they play him off the bench, fam. Because I really feel like as this season goes along, our big guns are going to get more tired, and that's when Tom Thibodeau is going to put his foot down on the gas, even more. Yep. Winter says crazy that Tibbs starting Deuce playing double center lineups. With that, he lucky he played the Rockets to finally get the win. Yeah. I think above all else with Tom Thibodeau, it don't matter if you're 6 feet tall or 5 feet, he's going to play a guy he trusts, I think. I think he really trusts Deuce McBride now, right? He's not afraid to mix and match, undersized, oversized. I think, once you lose Tibbs's trust, I think that's when you end up in his doghouse. And how do you get his trust? I guess you try to be smart defensively, not get beaten all the time, and a defensive effort. If he knows he can count on Deuce McBride's defensive effort, he'll play him over a dude who's bigger. Um, yeah, Jarvis, CT, you and me both have to cut that out, man. Eat healthier. Yep, you two. We'll do it together. Yep, I'll check in on you with that as well. But while we're talking about it, and while it's still New Year's Eve as well, tell me what you're indulging in. What's the last great meal that you indulged in, man, as well? Give us some recipes out here. Michael in the chat, salute. Young team, still pain, still to come. Plenty of positives so far. Good to bounce back. Right, yep. Michael from Down Under, salute in the chat. Yep. Yep, got the monkey off the back with this win on the West Coast, right? Also, just before we, move this West Coast aside and look ahead, some of these losses were so bad, in terms of the Knicks throwing it away, that it did embellish, I think, just how bad the West Coast trip was. But really, if you look at it, this losing streak was, if you look back on it, the Knicks, should have beaten Toronto, should have beaten Chicago. The Philly one, we just weren't good enough. We hell short of beaten Dallas as well. So that's 3 wins that the Knicks really should have right now. That's 3 wins that the Knicks should have. So we're back above 500. I don't think it was a real reflection of the team. To be honest with you, a lot of the doomsdayers was jumping out. Obviously this team does have a ceiling. I'm not expecting the team to be above the 6th seed right now, but we're better than this losing streak. We were way better than that. We just late game execution. You got to learn from it. But free throws against Chicago, closing it out against Toronto, and of course the follies of Dallas. And we're looking at a whole different situation right now, man. You add 3 more wins, take away 3 losses, and the Knicks are like 4 games over 500. The Knicks are 4 games over 500 and on the tail of the 5th seed right now. Just those 3 games alone. Just those 3 games that we threw away as well. So, yeah, things can look worse than what they are. Obviously, health now for the New York Knicks. They do need to get Brunson and RJ back to have any chance this season of making that playoff spot as well. What do I want to see? I want to see us get a little bit of bench help or play the bench that we currently have. Obi and Cam, Fournier, all of these guys should be situational, getting situational minutes, when called upon. And I don't think Hartenstein and Jericho, I don't think that tandem is sustainable long term. I think what your bench needs to do is just come in and get the scoreboard ticking over and hang with the other team. And then I think you can keep yourself in the game. And then when the starters come back in, then you try to push for the win right now. But yeah, I'm okay with the bench mob just coming in and just scoring, just trying to light it up as well. That's what you need in this league. It takes a lot of pressure off your starters. Yep. With that said, Quentin Grimes, let's give him a B plus for tonight. His performance with 36 minutes, 8 of 15, 3 of 8 from 3, 2 steals, 2 assists, and a block as well. 36 minutes. The best thing about Grimes is he's healthy. He's giving us production. He's getting experience starting now. We're not even at the halfway point of this season. So, like I said, I'm evaluating as I go, but I'm really evaluating at the end of the season in a major way. Quentin Grimes is playing within the offense. You know, a lot of people do believe Grimes can give us more, but he's young in his career, so I'm not really worried about that right now. You know, let Quentin Grimes settle in. He's 22 years of age, playing within the offense right now. He's key to floor spacing this team. You know, best believe when we play the Milwaukee's, the Phillies, you know, the Bucks, the Celtics, the Brooklyn's, the Atlanta's, the court's going to shrink. You know, teams are going to throw zone at us like Philly did. You know, without Quentin Grimes, you know, it's a sad sight in terms of the Knicks 3-point shooting. You know, floor spacing. You know, Randle and Brunson can hit the open one, but they can't be relied upon. You know, RJ's in a similar situation. So Quentin Grimes is really the starting player's true floor spacer. With that said, 3-D knows what to give us defensively. Quentin Grimes is savvy, smart, and I'll also shout out probably my favorite play of the game. You know, it wasn't sexy, it wasn't pretty, but Quentin Grimes ran the floor, chased down Tari Eason, stand up, stripped him, and gave max effort as well. On the road, last game of the road trip, a lot of people would have given up on that play. You know, Quentin Grimes put his head down, ran the floor as well. Smart player. You know, that's going to buy you a lot of brownie points around here, man. Yeah, Q dot, happy is a New York Knick. Yeah. There's no means to an end with this team. What's the direction 2023 and beyond? Yep. We'll hit on that in a sec, fam. Yep. The chat's going at it, buzzing as well. Give your takes, keep it clean. You already know. And let's continue to rock out. We gave the starters their minutes, except Deuce. We'll give Deuce a quick shout out, but it was a rough night, man. 1 of 10, 35 minutes though. You know, like I said, Tibbs trusts him. That's the only reason McBride's getting all these minutes, right? Like I said, whether he's undersized, outmatched, Tibbs is going to play a dude he trusts right there. Deuce McBride, although was 1 of 10, couldn't hit the backside of a barn, was 1 of 8 from 3. He was still plus 17. Plus 17, 3 turnovers, 2 rebounds, and 2 fouls as well. So nothing that really stood out from Deuce tonight. I'll give Deuce McBride a C. I'll give him a C tonight. But yeah, to be a plus, maybe a C plus. He was plus 17. But yeah, 35 minutes, a little too much tonight. But yeah, the shots wasn't falling. But Deuce McBride's defense is still very, very important for this team. We know Brunson's out. We know RJ's out. You know, somebody needs to step into that starting unit, right? And I'd rather him over Evan Fournier at the moment, or Rose, you know. And of course, we know what the situation is with Cam, you know. I would still like to see Cam off the bench, but the team's made their decision, you know. He's going to get traded. So out of Rose and out of Rose and Fournier, I would still prefer to see Deuce starting. So I mean, Tibbs is only doing what he has to do with McBride. But like I said, I would like to see McBride's minutes down, especially on a night he wasn't shooting well, 35 minutes. But inefficient. But we look ahead, to the bench now. Um, Derrick Rose back into the unit, like we know, 11 minutes tonight, 2 of 5, missed all 3 3-pointers. Um, that's that's concerning that D Rose's 3-point ball. It's definitely been rough recently, and he was -4, 4 points. Um, he got 1 assist and a rebound. I did D Rose, so yeah, needed D Rose some minutes tonight to give Quickley a rest. 11 minutes. Um, that seems to be the kind of sweet spot with D Rose, between 10 to 15 minutes right now. Does Rose continue to play this season? I do believe Derrick Rose is more likely to hang if if I had to choose. I think it's close. I could definitely still see the Knicks trading Rose, but I just go back to the Knicks' ambitions this season is to make the playoffs, win at all costs. The connection with Tibbs, I think Derrick Rose is more likely to hang around. I think as insurance, a steady hand that can come in, play some minutes, close out games if there's an injury or foul trouble. Um, Derrick Rose has clearly regressed, but for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, um, was 2 of 5. Hit that floater. The floater game's still there. Can still get dribble penetration. Can Derrick Rose? Struggling finishing at the cup, struggling shooting the three, but can still find the open man. Can still dribble. That's my thoughts on D Rose. I think he hangs around. What are you guys' thoughts on that? With that, yeah, we'll talk about the team's direction, all of that good stuff. Let's go. Chat's buzzing. Smash that like button, and yeah, I want to shout out Jericho Sims as well. 9 minutes, 2 of 2, 5 defensive rebounds, 2 offensive, 7 rebounds in 9 minutes. He's a rebounding beast. 4 points. I believe we win the Dallas one if we put Jericho Sims in the game. He's tough to box out. He would have got his hands on the ball. If he was in for Deuce McBride or if he was in for Julius Randle, I believe we would have blocked out Christian Wood and we would have got that rebound. But that's just hindsight. That's one critical error that I'm harsh on Tibbs on for that game. But yeah, Jericho had that nice alley-oop. Quick found him as well. Like I said, vertical spacing out there. When this team don't have great spacing, we need vertical spacing. And another success story for me this season's Jericho Sims, man. 58th pick right there. If you're not a fan of Sims, I don't know what you're hoping to see in his game, but for the 58th pick, right, the Knicks hit with Jericho Sims, so he should be the backup center moving along. Maybe Hartenstein gets traded in the off season. Let's see. It's showing that the Hartenstein signing wasn't really necessary, but Hartenstein's only got a 2-year deal, so you can't hate on that. 1 more year, so be it. 1 more year and then he's off the books as well. But the Knicks got to keep Jericho. The Knicks got to keep Jericho around as well. They hit with that situation, so shout out to the staff, the scouting reports, all of that. He was developing in college as well, all of that good stuff as well. So yeah, let's get it, ladies and gents. We're rocking out. Jericho, another situation where he's not getting a lot of touches offensively outside of the oops, the putbacks. He does look like he can maybe one day be a solid, mid-range, a baby mid-range area, free throw extended area. The jump shot looks okay, doesn't look broken. So there is, there is room for growth with Jericho. I want to touch on. We touched on Rose. I want to touch on Fournier's stats. 20 minutes, 2 of 8, 2 of 6 from 3, hit both free throws, plus 12, 8 minutes. So, Evan Fournier been in the doghouse, been a true pro, can shoot the lights out. Got no issue if Fournier needs to play, 10, 12, 15 minutes to spell some of these guys. You need it. It's not going to kill you in 10 to 15 minutes. In 25, 30 minutes, he could kill you, but not in 15, 10 minutes. He can shoot. He can open the floor up. He can dribble, drive as well. Will the Knicks be able to find a home for Evan? He's going to be the toughest one to trade. There's no way it's going to be a straight up like-for-like trade. It's going to be Evan Fournier and Cam, Fournier and Quick, or Fournier and Obi, or Fournier and Rose kind of situation, a package deal, or a three-way, a multiple team trade, I think, to get Fournier's salary off. He's the kind of guy I'm happy keeping around, I mean, unless the Knicks have ambitions to use that cap space, let's see. Let's see what their plans are with Evan in terms of that cap space situation. But there's no need to attach a pick right there because, like everybody knows, Fournier's salary is going to be coming off the books, baby, next season, and you can almost use that as a weapon, a weaponized, cap space with that. So everyone going back and forth over the direction. Duarte trades, do we not trade as well? Also, one issue I did have tonight, which, we know Tibbs' flaws, he should have sat some dudes earlier, It was a 15, 20-point game as well. Quentin Grimes was still out there, You could have put Svi Mikhailuk on, but, Tibbs is going to Tibbs with that situation. So, yeah, nothing to gloat about, but the Knicks finally got an end to this losing streak, got a dub in Texas on the road for New Year's as well. Can't hate on it. Finally now, evaluating the first part of this season, 1 game over 500. It's about where I expected. I thought the Knicks could win 45 games in 8th seed as well. Yet the Knicks are humming along. Players are getting a larger role. There's been some warts this season. Nothing's been perfect. Well, like I said, nothing's promised in this league. Well, look at Toronto, look at Miami, look at ATL, look at all these teams that were, projected above the Knicks, the Raptors, all of that stuff. So yeah, people come into this, into seasons expecting certain things to happen. You can't do that. You can't do that. So yeah, the Knicks are taking what's ahead of them. There's been some frustrations, but like I said, we're having, different conversations. If the Knicks pull out 3 of these games that they threw away, the 2 against Bulls and Raptors, and then the 1 against Dallas, we pull what we win those what we needed to, and we're 4 games over 500 with that situation. So that's a lot of growth. We can't become championship contenders overnight as we pivot towards the look ahead now. So you got to take the growing pains, Knicks Nation. Sometimes, well, yes, we're not growing as fast as some people want, and we need to dip into the draft and get game-changing talent. But I've already, accepted what this team, the avenue that they're trying to build a winner with, which is free agency and trades. If Leon Rose flames out in one more off season, then I'm definitely going to be more, harsher in evaluating this situation. He obviously pulled out of the Donovan deal for a reason. He's saving these assets, trying to, see what comes up. Mitchell's a free agent in 1.5 years from now. We could be signing him with cap space, Let's say we signed Spider with cap space and we kept all of our draft picks as well, then we've really got assets to build from there with that situation. So we're making the most of what we got this season. 2 potential all-stars, all our drafted players getting bigger roles, playing bigger minutes as well. But Tibbs, his schemes, I've still got an issue with. Rotations have been questionable at times. No doubt about it. No doubt about that. I can't disagree as well. With that said, I think Tibbs is going to be here for the rest of this season minimum. We're going to have to rattle off a hell of a bad losing streak, I think, for Tibbs to go because of where we're at. 7th seed, 1 game over 500. I mean, whether you hate Tibbs or you like him, I don't think you could expect the president to fire a coach of a New York Knicks team 1 game over 500 in 7th seed. You couldn't have expected, no one around the NBA could have expected the Knicks to be much better or any better than where we are right now as well. So you could want Tibbs out for different reasons, but from Leon's perspective, we would have had to lose, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row, I think, for that noise to get louder as well. So B. Willis, appreciate you as well. The streets are buzzing. Smash that like button as well. The streets don't lie. Get the likes up high. And moving ahead now. So Almighty says, where are we going with this roster right now? I wish I had all the answers, fam. That's why we come up on these pods and talk every day. And we love it. We love the team. Obviously, this ain't a finished product. I think Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson in Leon Rose's vision ain't going to be, and RJ Barrett ain't going to be the big 3 that they're going to try to, continue with. I do hope we keep at least 1 draft pick in this loaded draft, and I think if the Knicks are smart, they will. We got dudes like Walt Perrin, we got dudes like Brock Aller, and a full-time scout in Europe. Like we said last night, the Knicks are one of the only teams with a full-time scout overseas. So if they're going to punt on a draft, they best be confident that there's no game changers, and that's the complete opposite of this year. The complete opposite. There's so much talent in this draft. There's talk we might take on a pick from Indiana if we do move Obi, but there's also the picks of Dallas. Looking like Dallas will be at least in the playoffs or play in, and we should get their pick, which is top 10 protected. So the New York Knicks are definitely going to have 1 to 2 selections in this draft. I don't see the Knicks trading them. There's no big free agent or no star in this trade period that's going to be available. So I do feel like the Knicks are at least going to hang on to 1 or 2 draft picks. So continue to build through this draft. I know it might be a pick in the 15, 20, 25 range, but wherever it is, just hit on it. Just hit on it and take that player, best player available. Best player available. There's going to be a lot of talent in this draft. If you're good enough, you can find talent. I think you can hit. We've seen dudes. We're seeing dudes all around pop. And around the league and start to and to grow, emerge. So that's what I hope the Knicks do. Always continue to keep 1 foot into the draft. The other one is going to be scouring free agents. Trades, fam. As well. You need to hope your players in your current roster continue to develop and boost their stock around the league. I think Leon's not going to be afraid to pull off any big trade as well. I don't believe, this is just my opinion, I don't think Leon Rose is married to anybody on this roster, right? He had RJ out there. I think he'd trade anyone for the right piece as well. So I think he's going to continue to see what's out there. But for the meantime, it's just play these young guys. Hope Quentin Grimes continues to be that guy. Improves his game. RJ Barrett, like I said, this team's X factor. RJ Barrett takes an incremental leap throughout the rest of his contract. It leads him up to being 24, 25 years of age. Right now, just 22. Heading into his prime. Well, some of these players, different trajectories, and they need more time to grow. They need more time to develop. RJ Barrett, I don't think is going to be a number one on any team, but could he be a number two still, number three still? That's still an option. I do feel like that this team, Leon's aim is to find that number one, fam. Like, look at where we're at. We could be 4 games over 500 in 6th seed right now, and with enough picks, space, and assets to add a number one to RJ, Brunson, and Randle as well. So where can that get us in the East? It could definitely, depends on who that guy is, can definitely get us much, much higher up. I said the Spider thing's not going to go away. Whether you're a fan of Spider or not, I think that's not going to go away. Wait till he's a free agent. Then we got some decisions. We can offer him some money. Cully, salute. Let's get it. Appreciate you. Happy New Year to you, your fam. Everyone out here rocking out. I just noticed the time too, fam. I've got to keep an eye on that. As everyone's out here, we salute. And on the East Coast, we're 6 minutes away from midnight. Out here rocking out. The Knicks won a mid-season game on the road in Texas. And we're live, still chopping this thing up. Man, salute to the best fan base in the world. The best people, the best chat. Let's go. Yeah, Naismith. Yeah, who do you guys like in the draft? Fam. And by the way, that's just how I think Leon Rose intends to build this thing. I personally prefer to build through the draft. Well, I don't argue with anyone's tank argument or free agent or trade argument, because I think you can build a winner through any ways necessary. There isn't like a correct way and incorrect way. I think as long as you execute, you could have a plan, and if you execute it, you can build a winner in this thing. Some ways are harder than others. There's no doubt about it. You got to wait for a GM to trade someone with you. You got to wait for a guy to become a free agent. But the draft is also tough. The Knicks were in 4th, ended up with Porzingis. We ended up empty-handed. The Knicks was in 3rd, and we end up with RJ Barrett right now, waiting for him to, to grow and take on that mantle. So, yeah, there ain't no shortcuts with this thing in this league. It's tough. Yeah, it's tough watching this thing at times. But the silver lining for me is, try to hit on these picks. If you draft a guy, develop him. The Knicks traded so many guys in the past with Trevor Ariza, David Lee, Zach Randolph, so many dudes that stuck around in the league. For various reasons, the Knicks had to trade or get rid of them. But basically, like I said, I just want the Knicks to hit on their picks. You can find all-stars in the teens, late 20s. It's definitely harder, but if your scouts are good, you can get it. Yeah. Benedict Mathurin, I think I'd be shocked if Indy get rid of him, man. He's a building block. But what a talent, man! What a talent he is. What would I like to see some dudes get? I think some more shooting. Fam, Tariq, peace, salute, let's get it. Appreciate you. Guys, I think shooting, shooting never goes out of style. The Miami Heat find these dudes, Max Strauss, Tyler Hero. I know Robinson is out of there for a minute now, but he was good for them for a minute. Yeah, we got our Quentin Grimes. Let's add more shooting to this thing. Maybe a playmaking wing that can shoot, really shoot lights out, and dribble, drive, defend, all of that stuff. We could add more of those kind of guys. Obviously, we don't need any more power forwards, so let's stay the heck away from that. Let's stay the heck away from that. Get power forwards. We've got our center at the moment, Jalen Brunson, our point guard. So, yep, I think, as you guys all know, the most obvious way to build to flesh out the rest of this team is to maybe sign another free agent wing or draft the best wing with that to play alongside RJ. Now, Quentin Grimes is obviously here, man. I got high hopes for Q Dot, but with all these picks coming up with free agents, we're gonna have to make a bigger move up in here to get up the standing. So let's see, fam. Yeah, Buzzer mentioned Zion. I think the better the Pelicans do, fam, the less likely that he ever moves from that, man. He's on a winning team. They're competing out west. If you asked me that 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I would have said, yeah, Zion's probably going to find himself somewhere else. But I think right now, man, Zion's there to stay. I think he's there to stay, man. Juan says we need another playmaker to put next to Jalen. Yep. I think it's critical these games coming up because they're evaluating. They're evaluating Grimes, evaluating RJ, evaluating everything, man. This is a business. Let's not forget that as well. I think that's the biggest thing that I have confidence in with Leon Rose, is that this thing is a business. Well, if a star becomes available, I think he'll do what he needs to do, right? He's got a job to keep, you know? He can't keep going back to Dolan. If the Knicks keep finishing 7th, 8th, eventually time's going to run out. Eventually as well. Yep. Pels have the second best league in the record. Yep. With that, yeah, Ingram. With Ingram never playing. Yeah, it's insane. Also, fam, let's not forget, they own the LA Lakers pick, ladies and gentlemen. As it hits midnight on the East Coast, Happy New Year to everyone out here, Knicks Nation. Salute, let's get it. Let's go, let's get it. Yeah, for the rest of this season, I want to see everyone stay healthy and use these games to evaluate. Yeah, it's like a businessman. Evaluate everybody, top to bottom, coaching staff, scouts get busy. Like I said, this draft's going to be crazy up in here as well. Get these workouts in, get these these prospects in. There's a lot of real talent in this draft, man. I can't wait to do more draft coverage with that. Jarvis says shooting cool, but we do need defensive versatility, length, athleticism, especially at the SF. Yep. I agree, Jarvis. You hit 100% with that, man. Athleticism, that's key. Size, we had no one to match up on Pascal. We still don't have anyone that can lock down or guard KD, Giannis, those kind of guys. I really like Tari Eason coming out of the draft. Tonight he didn't really have a good night, but it was just good to see him in action. Tari Eason is a killer on the break, finishing in traffic. The shot was ugly, which was kind of one of his weaknesses coming out. Was Tari, but one thing that really did stand out on the screen was his size, pause, his length. He must be 6'10" at least, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11" maybe, legit. And yeah, he just looks big, just Tari Eason, right? When he gets his, legs under him and he fills out, he's going to be a huge piece for Houston. Yep, Tari Eason up in here. Yes, let's go. 2023 champs, right? That's my New Year's resolution. Cully, same to you. Blessings to everyone out here. Rocking out, replay gang tomorrow. Up in here, salute Knicks Nation, man. Best fan base in the world, man. I mean, we haven't won a chip since most of us weren't born. Right here, we're chopping this thing up, man, because we love hoops. Right here as well. Thing is, educated Knicks fans, we know so much about other teams' players, all of that good stuff, man. So yeah, many things to come. Blessings to everyone out here. Um, so yeah, looking at this road ahead, man. Phoenix back home, San Antonio back home as well. Um, I won't be mad if we lose to Phoenix because they've still got CP. They've still got Aiton, Macau, and their role guys. But the San Antonio Spurs, man, that left a sour taste in my mouth. I can't lie. You know, I mean, the Luca one was all time. We'll never forget it. You know, one of the craziest stat lines ever. But you got to give props to Luca. But to lose to the San Antonio Spurs the way we did was absolutely pathetic, really. I mean, we made Keldon Johnson look like the second coming right there. Trey Jones, all of that stuff, man. That was a filthy loss to San Antonio. So, short memory. This team shouldn't forget, right? San Antonio come into the Garden, right? Like I said, I don't care if we lose to Phoenix, right? We play them tough. We do what we need to do. But San Antonio, if the Knicks don't get that one on their home, we'll have problems, We'll have problems, right? I don't care if Devin Vassell's back or whatever, man. We should handle them, man, especially with Brunson back. So I'm looking for us to at least split the next two. Then it real gets tough. In Canada, I think, for the first time in a long time. Then the Bucks. And then Indy, Washington, and Detroit. It softens up. So I expect the Knicks to still be around 500. Long story short, by the end of this stretch, finishing with Detroit, I expect the Knicks to still be maybe 1-2 games over 500 or 500. With that, I think we'll split Phoenix, San Antonio, or take both. I think we'll probably maybe win one or lose both to Toronto, Milwaukee. And I think we can win 2 out of the 3 from Indy, Washington, and Detroit. Up in the air, fam. Cormega, Happy New Year. Sharp Powers, let's get it. Sherwin, Happy New Year to you. Geraldine, let's go. Yep, everyone out here celebrating. Be safe wherever you are. So yeah, health. And yeah, please, Tibbs, don't run these guys into the ground, right? Once RJ and Brunson get back, right? Use the bench, use these guys, stretch it out a bit, right? If you trade Cam, bring in some help off the bench, extend, keep Fournier and Rose in the rotation. I'm cool with that. Keep McBride playing. Well, it's early in the season. We're in a decent position, Tibbs, right here. Jared Vanderbilt, nice name. I think the Jazz are definitely going to use him, fam, for a bigger trade, or they're going to keep him. I think they're going to rock with him. Joseph Tibbs could have gave IQ the keys to the car at his rookie year. Yep, I think it's tough, but the quick we're seeing right now is because he's had experience in the league and he's a worker and he's had reps. I think we're seeing a better quick because of the reps he's had, no doubt about it. But yeah, he could definitely have a legit gripe for not having more minutes, fam. Yep. Yeah, there's definitely, fam. Yeah, rumors trading Vanderbilt, but I think they're going to use him in a bigger deal to try to get something. Get some picks. With that situation, would the Knicks give up a pick for him? Would have to be sending back Hart for sure, man. Yep. They want multiple first. Damn. Damn, that's a lot. Yeah, he's talented. He's talented. But I do tell you what, chat, everyone out here, man, look for the names, the same old names, to be linked to the Knicks, who they like. They like Malik Beasley. What do you guys think about him? Right. He's had fans in the organization for a minute. We always hear Malik Beasley name. We hear Eric Gordon name tonight. We saw Eric Gordon tonight. He didn't impress me, but kind of a guy off the bench. Maybe is a better Fournier defensively. I'm not mad at it. If it's a second round pick, I'm not trading any more than a second round pick. For Eric Gordon, there's no need. No need. I mean, heck, Svi Mikhailuk should be getting some minutes if we really, really need. Right? There's no need to have an 8-man rotation. I think this guy can shoot. This guy can shoot. But yeah, Malik Beasley, Eric Gordon. Not the biggest fan of Gordon, but second round pick. Look for Grayson Allen name out there. Milwaukee's trying to make upgrade. They want D Rose, and they've got interest in Cam, but it's a no for me. No Grayson Allen up in here as well. He'll get beat down in the locker room. What other names out there? Some other teams' bench roles. I think that guys that aren't getting enough minutes. Also, teams that are going to sell. And let's not forget, the closer we get, we're almost, heading into the new year now. We're in the new year. NBA All-Star Weekend, trade deadline. Teams are going to start to go south. They're going to decide to tank, I think, and sell off some parts. I think for these New York Knicks, they could possibly get a guy that way. But I think the Knicks are going to be buyers. Right? We all know, right? I don't believe Leon Rose is just going to sell Cam for future assets or anything like that only. I think that's one move. See what we can get for Cam. If a team wants Rose, if a team wants Fournier for shooting, we can get off of them. But if we're trying to make a run, we're looking at maybe parting with a protected first rounder, maybe, to get a bona fide another bench scorer as well. Now, as we talk about that report with Indy and Obi, right? I agree with the chat earlier tonight, man. Perfect situation for Obi. Tyrese, Benedict, big minutes, Rick Carlisle. Just great situation for Obi. Now, I like what the Knicks are doing. They're sort of seeing what the interest is, seeing whether a team can blow us away. There's conflicting reports, a protected first round pick or an unprotected first round pick that Leon Rose is seeking, plus another piece, another asset attached as well. So, I mean, I'll be surprised if they can get it, because Obi ain't playing right now. Obi's injured right now. I don't know who believes in Obi as much to give up a first round pick and another asset right now. I could be wrong. Maybe they saw what he was doing early in the year. They're happy to go that route. Maybe Indy want to get off of the salary of Miles Turner. Maybe Buddy Hield, Chris Duarte, right, on the outer with Benedict playing. Benedict's lighting it up. Chris Duarte could be on the outer, I think. The Knicks could definitely do with his scoring off the bench, man. I think he's a name to watch, because the Knicks were very, very high on Chris Duarte. Sherwin says, no one given us that first for Obi right now. David Fleece Indy, yes. I don't think it's necessarily fleecing, and I don't think it's necessarily just about the first, Sherwin. It's about Indy doing a transactional swap, because Benedict Mathurin is clearly their guy. So they're like a smart organization. They don't want to waste Chris Duarte either. You waste him not playing for another year, like the Knicks did with Obi. and his value skyrockets. Plummets. So with that said, Obi's asset level with us in terms of us using him ain't great, and the way Chris Duarte is getting used in Indiana is not great. So that could be a meeting of the minds. I'm just speculating. That's all I'm doing right now. I would love to see Obi hang around. I really would. He's that guy that we need still off the bench to score right now. Um, in a world, I would love to see the Knicks build slower around Obi, but time's run out. Basically, time was running out, and I think time's ran out right now. Yes, tonight was great. 37 points off turnovers, right? Yep. Defense leading to offense. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Chris Duarte got fans in the organization, fam, but he's a bench guy for us right now. Definitely. Yep. Bench guy. But you reset the rookie contract, I think, with Chris Duarte as well. I think he's still got 2 more years of cost control, whereas Obi's contract's about to run out. So it's also asset management. Yep. Yes, I agree with this. Buzzer Beater says Duarte similar to Grimes, and we got him already here. I think that's why too, fam. I think they're not just trying to throw Obi away. They're hoping it can be Duarte and another asset, or Buddy Hield and another asset, something like that. Let's not forget, Indy's trying to go south. I think they're trying to be in the Victor sweepstakes. It's just that Tyrese and Benedict are too good right now, and they're playing too well with that. Sherwin would love to see Obi out of here as well. I know you would love to see that. Who would you love to see the Knicks get back? So 19 in the house, salute. Let's get it. Peace. Happy New Year. Yep. Yeah, I'm most mad with Tibbs' schemes, but in terms of guys playing, I can't have any gripe with Tibbs. There's the Cam Hive still, and I do, agree that being just taking him completely out of the rotation was poor, as well. But that basically was just a cover up for what was going to happen anyway, which was he was always going to get traded. You know, he was never the guy that the Knicks were going to build upon or build with. I think since we already heard the noise about Tibbs's thoughts, on that situation and the contract situation to pay Cam. So yeah, with that said, I think it was always about Cam, playing a little bit, try to get his value up, see what we can get. But I'm not mad at who's not playing right now. McBride's playing, Grimes is playing, Sims is playing, Quick's playing a lot, Mitch is playing as well. Yeah, anyone else that I missed out on? Obi was playing. Obi was playing before he got injured as well. So, I mean, like I said, this thing's a business. You've got to rotate your assets still. Cost control comes up. It's unfortunate. Uh, it's like it's like a car dealership. You purchase a brand new car from the dealer, you drive it out 35K brand new. You drive it out of the dealer, it's down to 25K. You drive it for a year or two, then your company that you work for gives you a company car, and you don't need your car anymore. What do you got to do? You got to recycle your other asset. You got to sell it. You got to sell it, man. Well, so this is a business. Well, I want to see all New York Knicks thrive while they're a New York Knick, but even players themselves, they say it's the nature of the business. It's the beast in the East right now. Yeah, look for this noise, this Obi noise to ramp up. I feel it's no surprise. It was no shock to read. The Knicks do have to have one eye on the future and the books, the salary cap, all of that stuff. But let's see. They could also keep him. They could also build with him. We've seen stranger things as well. But also, these are just negotiations. It ain't like we're definitely going to deal with Indy. This is the first real concrete recent report out here. So yeah, let's see. Also, yeah, Cam wants a bigger role, and Obi may or definitely wants a bigger role too. So yeah, these guys don't want to Quickley and Obi. That they're approaching the end of their contracts, right? They don't want to be bench pieces for the rest of their days as well. So just like Cam, you know, these guys have got hopes and dreams and agents, bills to pay, all of that stuff, man. Who are we to speculate and say that they want to stick around as a New York Knicks six man, forever, you know? Coming off your rookie contract, what is every NBA player's goal, right? Is to get paid your first deal as well. So, yep, not surprised to hear about it. But yeah, we're looking ahead now. Obviously, I feel like the Knicks can go about 500 from the end of this stretch. Great win, great celebrating, chopping it up with the best chat in the biz as well. The streets never lie. Get the likes up high, and we'll wrap this thing up. Well, everyone continue celebration, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will catch you soon. Tuesday, we obviously got the game against Phoenix, and then Tuesday night back on live with B-ball breakdown. Coach Nick will give in our All-Star submissions, and we'll talk to him about Coach Tibbs, what we like, what we haven't liked, and get his thoughts on that from Coach Nick B-ball breakdown, and we'll also talk to him about the wider NBA, the East right now, the East, the West, the draft coming up, what he's up to, all of that good stuff. Shout everyone out. You already know what it is. But yeah, peace, blessings. Happy 2023. We here. We back here. And let's get on the next one, man. Salute to everyone. We out.